just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right?
Welcome, everyone. You're now listening to the Say With Your Chest podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. Lightskin Keysway. Thank you to everyone who's listened, who's subscribed, who's shared, who's left a comment. I really do appreciate everyone's patience while I've been away. I've taken a little extended break. I know I always take a little break, but I don't never take this long of a break. So I do really appreciate everyone who's still tapped in. I know some people I'm going to have to gain your support again. I'm going to earn that through the consistency. So be on the lookout. Now, you see, we got new merch. We got them Not Too Much On Me hoodies. I told y'all on IG that I was doing some things. I had some mock-ups, and some of the first few samples are in. I'm loving them. Loving the colors, loving the material. Definitely tap in. And if you happen to buy 2 or more, let me know, and I'll send you something personally. Might send you another one in another color that you didn't get. So keep me posted. Again, I'm not the site. I just might have a few that I might give out, or I might do my thing with. I might wear for me. So that's really what that is. Check the link in the bio, okay? Click one of these links somewhere. The link is all over the place. Take your time. Hit pause. Write it down. All I know is I got a lot of different places if you just want to go see. Prices are very reasonable. And it's getting cool. The weather is pretty fickle these days, so be prepared, be proactive, and again, stay cute like me. But in addition to the new merch, we still have the playlist on Tidal. Continue to listen over there. Continue to subscribe. Continue to share. Let me know if you're looking for some new music. Let me know that you didn't already listen to what's already there first. And then let me know that you want to see what else I might have to recommend. And I'll send you some more links to some other playlists that I don't have advertised, because I have a few more. So whatever you're into, I might have something for you. So check me out. Now, first, I want to say goodbye to July, August, and summertime. And hello to September and fall, because, boy, these days, these months are moving very quickly. I don't care what you got going on. I don't care what kind of responsibilities are in your life. The time is ticking very quickly. So please take advantage. Please don't waste it, because it is moving. We were just complaining about how hot it is. Now we wearing hoodies again. Now when you leave the house in the morning, it's a little cool. It's a little more breezy. Shout out to Breezy. So the seasons are changing, and it's also hurricane season. Shout out my people in New Orleans. Hope y'all staying dry. I know it rain out there all year round, but especially during hurricane season. Recently, we just celebrated the 20th anniversary of Katrina. Shout out to those who actually went through this. who are able to celebrate on the more positive side, whose lives were changed based on Katrina, whether you relocated, whether you was able to rebuild. Katrina hurt and helped a lot of people. So it has a lot of good and bad memories for a lot of people. And I was down there. I experienced it. I am from New Orleans. When I look back 20 years, I was going into my junior year in college at Xavier University of Louisiana. Don't get it confused, or the one in Ohio. We talking about Louisiana, New Orleans. I was going into my junior year. It was the first week of school. I was living on campus, even though I'm from there. We were trying to get that good experience, that good dorm life. And we was having a great time, okay? So we were staying in the new dorm. They just built these fresh. See, that's what brought me to staying in them. I didn't stay in the all-boy dorms freshman year. I was cool with staying at home that year. But after that apartment, then I said, let me go to them dorms, them new fresh dorms, them co-ed dorms. Okay. First week of school. We not doing nothing. We just getting acclimated. Friday night, we go to one of the biggest parties in the city. Have a blast. Stay out late. Me and my roommate come back, crash. In the morning the next day, he wake me up to let me know that his parents called and said they come and pick him up. They got a hurricane coming. I say, huh? I said, I wonder why nobody called me. Okay. Shout out to my family. Because no one called me, I had to call them. I eventually called them. They said, yeah, something going on. And I eventually packed a few things and went on home, okay? So that's the beginning of my Katrina story. We eventually relocate, me and a bunch of family members, to Houston, Texas. I eventually enroll in the University of Houston after Katrina actually hit. See, I didn't experience a lot of damage to my home, even though power was out for a very long time in almost all of the areas. If you didn't have a generator, you weren't able to stay in your home for weeks, for months, for long periods of time. My home, they had some damage, no flooding, but we had some roof damage. Although there wasn't any damage to my personal home, the dorms were flooded. The whole campus was flooded. They had to rebuild the whole first level. Now, I stayed on the second level. So, luckily, my stuff was pretty cool. And nobody know a lot of this, but I was able to sneak back on campus with one of my mentors who worked there at the time and get some of my stuff. Got into the dorms, got a few things, went on by my business. So I was able to eventually stay in a trailer that my dad's job provided for their coworkers and family members. So eventually I get tired of that. I eventually relocate to Atlanta. I stay with other family. My sister go out there. She goes to school. I take some online classes. So I eventually stay in Georgia for a few months until Xavier reopens. And then I come back home and go back to school officially. I think I took a few online classes during that time, but for the most part, I was experimenting life, trying to do some things, trying to go to U of H, trying to go do some online classes. A lot of people wanted their money, even though they said you can enroll very quickly or you could kind of go for free. You couldn't go for free. They wanted you to transfer over your financial aid. So again, I was able to keep my financial aid at my current school and go back to Xavier when they reopened. So it was a very interesting time. It was a learning experience. I definitely did a lot of local traveling, a lot of driving around. I've not talked about this that much with a lot of friends of mine who are from home. It's not a lot of stories we've shared, I guess, for some reason, but I do know everyone has a story. Everyone has been through something, and this was a real anniversary for all of us as it truly brings back memories. good and not so good. So also rest in peace to those who lost their lives, who lived in New Orleans. Not everyone could relocate. Not everyone chose to relocate. See, that's what you learn. We had just relocated maybe a couple weeks before that, and no storm came. They said it was going to be an even bigger storm, a category 5, but the storm changed its course at the last minute. It didn't hit, it didn't rain, nothing happened, but you relocated. Again, this is a thing if you're from a city where the hurricane season impacts that city frequently. You will relocate often. Your job understands there are a lot of parameters in place, although nothing is perfect. And during this time, a lot of things was not perfect. But again, a lot of people didn't help themselves as well. So no time to blame anyone. We just going to remember those who lost their lives and all of us who experienced it, firsthand. So shout out to all of us. Happy anniversary. Having these type of anniversaries let me know over and over, like I say over and over, we're getting old. You keep seeing what's going on in the world, and when things happen to people now you feel a lot more connected. Now you like, wait, not that person. Yeah. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Rest in peace. But I really liked him on Malcolm and Eddie. That was my little show that I really enjoyed a lot. I like him on the Cosby Show, but he didn't have a strong role in that, in my opinion. They didn't pay his character role as much attention as they could have, being the only boy. Again, you can't focus on everyone, but I do think they gave them girls a lot more attention on the show. But I felt like I lost a cousin. I don't want to say a brother because I never really wanted a brother. I like having a lot of cousins. Shout out my cousins. But I felt like I lost a close cousin, a close homie, somebody I grew up with, somebody I talked to often, somebody who we shared stories, and boy, I hate how he died. It wasn't even due to any disease. Make sure y'all go get out there and swim. Everybody want to go get in that water, but most of y'all can't swim. Be careful. And he was saving his daughter's life. Make sure your kids getting some lessons too now. Make sure your kids not trying to get no lessons from your ass, all right? Just make sure you're taking your kids at least to the YMCA. Somewhere early. Why they not afraid of the water like your ass, okay? That's what you got to do. You got to take them super early. But even if they know how to swim somewhat, even if your ass know how to swim somewhat, because I believe he knew how to swim a little bit, nonetheless, if the currents are too strong, what you learn is when you're in them big bodies of water, nobody can help you fast enough. That's all I keep seeing. People be around, but nobody could really get to you that fast in the water. They can't run to you. They got to find a way to get to you and be able to help you out. And most of them can't swim fast enough to get to you either. So keep that in mind. You ain't got no lifeguards on duty. This ain't Baywatch. Keep that in mind. I need to be somewhere where they got a lifeguard at if I'm going to be all the way in the water. That's all I'm saying. Somebody who's going to come out there, who got boats, who got jet skis, who got ATVs, who going to sprint from the tower and run and try to come and save my life. I need to be in areas just like that. If not, I'm not going to be in the water. Not that kind of water. Now, I can swim. I can swim enough to save my life. That's all I know. Now, if my kid drowning, I'm going to have to make some tough decisions. I'm going to have to figure it out. I'm going to look for a net. I'm going to try to make sure somebody holding my hand when I jump in. But I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to tie a rope around my waist and jump in so somebody else could pull both of us out. I don't know. I'm going to do it, though. I'm going to get in there. But I'm not going to sit here and think that she is the same height as me, almost. Not all the way my size, but she got some size on her. You know what I mean? These kids and these new generations taller than us or just as tall as us, wear the same shoe size as us or bigger, can wear the same clothes as you. I mean, what is in the water? What is in the food? I don't know. Like I said, something going on. But I know I can't jump in the water and pick her up and swim with her while she panicking in the water. They say if they panicking, you better knock them out so that they don't affect you transporting them and pulling them to safety. I'm gonna knock her ass out. Just know that. And I kind of want to knock her out a little bit, but not too much. Not too much. Not too much. You know, I was talking to Noah. Shout out to Noah. He said he had went seen Malcolm at a concert not too long ago. Seen him perform live because he was doing the music. See, a lot of people didn't know he was in the band. He sing, he do his instruments, he did his thing. But tragedy, super sad, you know. Also, I want to give some more condolences. Rest in peace to one of the members of City High. Nah, I don't really remember all their names, but I do remember that one song that they did that I really like. What Would You Do? All for that Life soundtrack. I thought that was a jam. And again, I'm just starting to feel older and older. I'm starting to think, wow, these people are closer to my age, or I'm closer to their age. However you want to look at it. When you was younger, people was passing away. You didn't know who that was. That was your mama, your grandma, your grandpa, your daddy. That was somebody, friends of theirs, okay? That was a family member that you didn't know, that you never really met like that, okay? That they gonna tell you a bunch of stories about or something, tell you how you know somebody through somebody. I don't know. But now we losing people that we actually knew. We actually liked a lot. Again, more people who lost their lives. Again, sometimes they just getting a little older. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Now, I watched their show. Okay, I ain't listened to the music. I didn't do the face paint too well. I don't know nothing about none of that, all right? I don't know nothing about kissing nobody but the ladies, okay? That's it. But again, they were popular to select groups of people. I respect that. But I watched their little TV show when they had a TV show back on MTV. I really liked their TV show. I thought they were weird, but I'm weird. So I felt like we had a lot in common and it was quality TV show. I like family type shows. And I really enjoyed that they were promoting family a little bit more back in those times. Now, I'm gonna give some light condolences lastly, because we ain't gonna sad you out, but we gonna update you real quick. Rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Okay, I'm gonna say that reluctantly, but I grew up on some Hulk Hogan too. I was a part of the Hulkamania crew just a little bit. Now I didn't buy no gear. I was too young back then, and I wouldn't dare buy that stuff as I've gotten older, even though I was watching maybe about 10, 15 years ago, okay? Now, I grew up on Hulk Hogan, even though he 20, 30 years older, but his character was super iconic. It really brought a lot of notoriety to wrestling. I really appreciated his contribution. I really appreciated his acting, his charisma in the ring. Now, outside the ring, I did not necessarily like Hulk Hogan, okay? Especially more recently. Now, in the beginning, when he first got out the ring, I liked his TV show too. See, again, he was promoting family as well. He had his kids on there. That's what we talking about. We talking about the good old days. The 99s and the 2000s, okay? I don't know, but that sounded great. Those were the times. Good music, good TV watching, black and brown. Still some things, but not too much. Probably a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. Probably a lot of stuff going on every year. The last thousands of years, okay, depending on what side you're on. And we ain't never been on the right side. So we not gonna act like back then they didn't have some stuff. It just how clear and aware you are and how close you are to what's going on right now. And we're a lot closer because we're a lot older. You know, Hulk Hogan, you wasn't supporting black and brown folk most recently. You sure wasn't voting for us. You was a Trump supporter, bro. And you was saying some negative things out there about people who didn't look like you. We didn't really appreciate that at all. Now, hey, again, we all gonna lose our lives one day. And I don't know how he lost his, but when it's your time, it's your time. Not too much on him. He don't deserve too much. But rest in peace. Now, I love wrestling back then. I used to watch it all the time, but like I said, I don't really watch those things as much. You know, things have evolved. I've been disconnected. And to be honest, I thought some of it was a little real. And even when I started to learn it wasn't as real, it still felt like most of it was still kind of real. And now, as I've seen clips, I've glanced a few times, it just looks super fake, super scripted. And I'm not as tapped in. Although I see John Cena is out on his world tour. It's supposed to be his last season. He going out with a bang. No pause. Wrestling has evolved. You know, people are watching a lot more UFC. That wasn't around as much as wrestling was. And you see they had this incident most recently where this ex-UFC guy, Rampage Jackson, his son, who's also a UFC fighter, was at a wrestling event and some kind of way ran into the ring and beat up a guy very badly. Okay, guy had to go to the hospital. Supposedly he lost a lot of his teeth. And there's a lot of stories going on. Supposedly there was some interactions before this backstage. I'm trying to understand, why was this UFC fighter even at this wrestling match anyway, okay? He's not a wrestler, supposedly. So I don't know exactly what this was, but they said he did a little too much. So they're looking to press some charges. His daddy had to come out and speak, make some videos saying how he kind of want to defend his son, but he don't condone everything. I don't know. Super interesting. Now, I watch the UFC a little bit more, but I have to close my eyes some of the times too, or look away. You know, I'm not going to be no punk, but I'm not going to stare at the danger, okay? I'm not going to stare at the blood. I'm not going to stare at somebody getting pounded, pause this time, in the face. I'm just not going to do that, okay? So everybody like what they like. And I don't like that much gruesome in my life. I don't do the scary movies. I don't do all the violence. But I like the competitiveness. And I like some of the hand combat type sports. So shout out to those who choose to do wrestling or UFC, as they are some dangerous sports. Now, another sport that's pretty dangerous, but again, starting to see a little more acting, boxing. Now, what's going on, Tank? You don't want to face Lamont? What happened? I thought Lamont was going to go ahead and beat you in the rematch, especially after you had to go to jail for a few months, even though you've been back for a minute. I just don't think you're going to be mentally prepared. And I also don't think that you actually like that people thought he beat you the first match. So I see you've chosen to go a different route, sir. Mr. Davis, you've chosen to go and fight Jake Paul. Make that good old Netflix money. So I see this is going to be some type of exhibition fight. One of these Floyd Mayweather fights. One of these Mike Tyson type fights. So I don't know how serious this will really be. I know a lot of money will be exchanged, but I won't be paying. I'll just be tuned in. But you're ducking some smoke, my guy. And at some point, unless you're retiring after this big payday, you're going to have to go fight some real guys. And I hope you're ready, because you was the man over there at one point. So hopefully you could get back to doing your thing, because I like what you be doing over there, Tank. Now, Somebody else I like in boxing a whole lot, and she a lady. Hey, shout out Clarissa Shields. I really like what you're doing. The GWOAT, is what she call herself. And she is. I like what she doing. I like her last fight. She did very well. Women boxing is interesting to watch sometimes. Not always going to see the knockout, but you're going to see competitiveness, and I really enjoy those type of things from her. And shout out to her. Shout out to her in a relationship, too. She very happy. I'm happy for her. Shout out to Papoose finding love again. I don't see X out there promoting, not too much. But shout out to y'all. Y'all looking good. Y'all looking great. And you wasn't looking like that before. I think Papoose elevated a little bit. A guy in your life might do some things, is all I'm saying. You was already kicking ass, so not too much on them hands, but I like how you looking out here, Miss Shields. And I see Miss Layla Ali also like what you doing out here because she refusing to fight you, okay? She said it's been a little too late, and although I said I would take 15 million, I was lying. I was hoping nobody was gonna call my card and give me the 15 million and really want me to come out of retirement, but I ain't been training in forever. I'm out of shape. I'm getting older. Even though I was who I used to be, I'm not who I used to be. So we're going to move forward. I'm going to stop talking about it. I'm going to stop pulling up the places so people can stop asking me for a while. That's what you got to do. Stay out the limelight. You ain't got to be seen no more. See, you wanting some attention and you getting the attention you don't really want. Keep that in mind. Sometimes stay low key, stay out the way. But I don't know who else you gonna fight. I don't know who else they got. Hey, Papoose, I hear you might be having a kid, so congratulations early. But shout out to you for holding your new lady down. I like what you're doing, bro. If it don't work there, I promise you, you're gonna have some other ladies somewhere wanting to get treated very well. I don't know. A lot of ladies seem like they saying they could work with something like that. I don't know. Only the ladies who done been hurt could appreciate good guys usually. Some could, but usually some people got to go through some things. It's not just ladies, men too. Got to go through some things to see some things. I just hope that the relationship don't get in the way of the boxing. That's all. Because sometimes they say for guys, relationship don't always help at work. So you got to stay focused. Keep the main thing the main thing. But you say you want some little kids, go do your thing. A headache is all I want to say. Now, some more love to the ladies. Some more love to the ladies who want kids. Shout out Naomi Osaka. Shout out Coco Gauff. I like Coco Gauff. I chose Coco Gauff to win that match. She didn't win. She didn't look good at all. She had been looking good. She was number 3 in the world. I'm glad I ain't bet no money. That's all I want to say. Sometimes keep your money in your pocket. Just watch for fun. That's all I did. Watch for fun. Sometimes just look at the ladies. You ain't got to spend your money on the ladies. Keep that in mind, fellas. But moving on, the match was okay. It wasn't that entertaining as Coco struggled. But shout out to Naomi. I really like that she did very well. Now, again, I really think Coco beat herself. I'm not going to lie. That's how it really looked. It looked like Coco made a lot of unforced errors, and that helped. But a win is a win. I hope Naomi continues. I hope this helps her mental health moving forward, because every time she lose, she says she got some mental health problems. I don't know, fellas. I don't know. Every time they say something going on, they got a justification in the hole for why something ain't going right, okay? I'm just going to say. But shout out to her. Not too much on her. Not too much on Serena Williams either. Shout out to the GOAT of tennis. Male or female, in my opinion. First off, if you want to be inspired, go watch the movie about her and her daddy and her other sister, Venus. Beautiful movie. Get you in shape. Get your work ethic together. Hold yourself accountable. Stay locked in. Great movie. Definitely check that out if you want to be motivated to tighten up in your life or help them kids tighten up in their lives, focus on some things, push them a little bit more. I like a lot of the sports movies when the parents are pushing their kids and they turn out to be great. Use that as inspiration. I know I do. So Serena out here talking about she taking some drugs to lose some weight. They say the GLP-1 drug, Zepbound. She out here promoting drugs to lose weight. I don't know. I think the older we get, nobody want to go to the gym no more. I was trying. I'm still trying. But it's hard. I think the key is the food, though. But Miss Serena, I thought you had a lot more access to things. But nonetheless, it's still hard for anybody, even if you got money. Now, I'm not with cheating the system, at least not yet. Not yet. Now, I don't know who you trying to look good for all the way, because I don't really be thinking it's helping people look good. I'm not going to hold you. I think it's helping you lose weight. But I don't think you're looking that much better after you done lost some weight. You could tell who on the drug and who not. I ain't gonna hold you. So hopefully you take the drug and get off the drug real quick. I saw one of your most recent clips and you can stop taking it. That's all I want to say. I know you said you took it already. Just say you took it. Don't say you still taking it. Because you done lost enough. We ain't even seeing that shape no more, that figure, But not too much. We gonna move on. Congratulations on your newfound success, I guess. I don't know. We support Black women over here, especially the Black women of the WNBA. We always supporting basketball, but we definitely supporting the WNBA, especially since we ain't had nothing to watch on TV. Now, I won't be honest. I've been busy. I've been having a lot of things going on lately, okay? So I haven't watched as much as I would like. Now, I do know what's going on. I am keeping up with a lot of the drama as well as the stats, okay? I know who doing well. I know who not. But first, we want to say that was a little embarrassing for that young lady to lose her wig in the middle of a game, okay? She had a little tie-up, and there was a little tussle, and her wig kind of came off, and she ran to the locker room. Super embarrassing. Hope she got a man or woman already, because that's not going to help promote herself. But things happen. Things happen to the best of us. So, hey, sorry that happened to you that day on TV while playing the game at that. So got to put a little more glue on that or wear your own stuff. But that ain't for me to say. Nope, not me. Also, what is the world coming to? Why do we feel like it is okay, it is appropriate to bring dildos to a sporting event and throw it on the court? You know how much disrespect you have to even think to do something like that. Like I said, a lot of things aren't mistakes. A lot of things are super premeditated. And a lot of things truly have negative motives behind it that are deeper than what are truly being expressed. A lot of hate is being promoted and advertised and suggested. But to me, I would think a lot of kids, a lot of young girls would go to the WNBA games, and for them to have to see that at a game, that sucks. Again, you hear they kind of arrested the person, but who knows what truly happened for real, When they get quiet, they might just kick a lot of stuff under the rug. A lot of these people might be privileged thinking they could do some things and get away with things because they know some people. So I don't know, but that sucked. That wasn't good at all. But some more news in the WNBA that I want to quickly get to. Paige get the buckets out here getting buckets. Okay, she doing her thing in her rookie year, and I like that she shoot the mid range very well. Now, some sidebar news. Who knew she was dating her teammate who still played for UConn? Not too much, but who knew? is all I want to say. I didn't know. Sometimes you could tell. I mean, but, who knew? Now, somebody who have already identified themselves to be in a relationship and in an up-and-coming power couple, supposedly. She go to LSU. Miss Floje, she was doing some interviews recently, and she did an interview where she stated that she didn't believe that women could beat men in basketball. No matter if you was a star or a bench player in the NBA, you still could beat a WNBA player, mainly because I guess of the athleticism, but there's some other women like Asia Wilson. She says she don't agree with that. She beat a couple guys out here, and I believe she could beat a couple. I ain't gonna hold you, but you never know. I think on average, the athleticism might win a little bit more, but a lot of these ladies got good offensive skills, good fundamentals, can shoot a lot better than the men. So you never know. But I thought that was interesting that, that debate would even come up. Why are we always being put against each other? Why can't we just love up on each other? She got her man. She doing her rap career. She was on the early Olympic team that won this summer. She doing her thing. Who cares? This will never really happen. And why would we want it to happen anyway? Now, something that I love that happened. I love that Angel Reese made the cover of NBA 2K. I love that she been doing her thing this season. They had so much doubt about her rebounding skills, and I think she really proved people wrong because people still can't stop her. I think she's also gotten better in other areas, and she recently released a new Reebok shoe. Now, I used to wear me some Reeboks back in the day, since we reminiscing back in the day. I definitely had me some Reeboks back in the day. Like, I remember the white pair with the blue icy bottoms. Definitely had me a lot of Reeboks way back in the day. You got to keep them clean. For some reason, they got dirty very, very quickly, But shout out to Angel Reese. Shout out to you being connected to people who could help you get things for yourself. Sometimes you got to stay with the connections. She cool with Shaq. Shaq work at Reebok. Shaq making sure she getting some things done without no problems. See, that's what you want. She could have went somewhere else. She probably having some more problems. It might not be done this quickly, because all the news about her isn't always positive, even though it's not always her fault. See, everybody wouldn't stick by you, defend you. Shaq be out here defending her. Shaq come out here say, hey, RG3, say one more thing. Say one more thing and whip that ass. I'm gonna hit you in your face. I'm cool with going to jail. I'm cool paying whatever fine. I don't care about that. Say one more thing about my girl, Angel Reese, and I'm gonna beat you up, dog. On sight. And I ain't heard nothing. So, RG3, I'm glad you got Shaq's message. That's all I want to say. Now, Angel Reese wasn't on the cover by herself. She was on the cover with Shay. She was on the cover with Carmelo. So, hey, I think she's in good company. I like what's going on. I like that they gave it to her over Caitlin Clark. I want Angel Reese to get a little love, and I like that she getting a little love. And Caitlin Clark been getting her love too, because she got her new little Nike logo. So she doing her thing too. I'm just saying, everybody getting a thing. Asia Wilson got her shoes looking nice. People got things going on, but sometimes all you hearing about is the Caitlin Clark. I'm just glad other young ladies who doing their thing getting the recognition they deserve and getting some shine light, spreading the light around to others. Just like in the NBA, moving on, OKC gave all that money to damn near the whole team. See, when you win, everybody get paid. When you lose, maybe we might leave each other. That's how that works. I don't know. The NBA been real quiet. A few little things happened this summer. Kevin Durant, big news. I kind of like that. To the Houston Rockets. Dame Lillard, back to Portland. Very interesting. He said he had to go somewhere where he could get paid, but not have to play this season. Interesting. Then you see the Bucks They re-signed Thanos, Giannis' brother. Interesting. Nah, I don't know if I would have gave him 2.9 million or 2.3 million, but interesting is all I want to say. I guess he a great teammate, but he might need to get a little more time to see if he could do some things on the court. All I want to say is he better be thanking his brother Giannis for making sure he keep getting paid. Keep doing a good job. Keep riding for your brother, and your brother gonna keep making sure you keep getting what you need to. See, family got to stick together sometimes. We got to defend each other. Thanos be going after anybody who do too much to his brother. He said, not too much on my brother. I'll go out there and jump up on you. We'll figure it out. But I'm riding for mine. No pause. So I like that type of cohesiveness. Family sticking together. I need that. Shout out my sister. I need that. I need all that kind of love, all right? Loyalty, unconditionally. Then he was able to get him over $2 million just for sitting on the bench, being a good cheerleader, good support system. I like that. They say whatever you need to stay here another couple years, Giannis, please. So, I don't know. See, it's not just LeBron and Bronny. They got other brothers and family members doing things. Nepotism go around a lot in sports, a lot in companies, everywhere in the world. Family members working there somewhere. Somebody knows somebody. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And I've been told that all my life. Now, my Lakers ain't really doing too much. That Marcus Smart and that DeAndre Ayton upgrade was just, but not too much. We just gonna pray and keep moving forward. Hope something else happen positive. Now, you see Chris Paul. He said he retired. I think that's positive. It's about time, bro. But I see you made a small move. You said, let me go back where I was loved, where I still got relationships, and the owner has a lot of money. Let me go back to the Clippers. Ain't no more Lob City, but let me go over there and have a nice little going away party for myself. So I think that was a smart decision. I always wonder though, why nobody ever want to go play with LeBron? If we friends, if we cool. Now shout out to everybody who like to get invited to everybody's wedding just to show up to dress up and look good. Nah. Nobody knew Taylor Rooks was getting married, okay? Just want to say that. Nobody knew she even had a man. I like how she kept her life private and then popped out on you. That's what I like. That's what I be doing. Nothing, pop out. You know, that's how I live my life. Quiet, none of your business. Here go a little tease, but none of your business. Because see, when things change up, I don't need no questions because it was none of your business. If I let you see something, if I let you hear something, you just saw and heard something. Keep it moving. Don't ask no questions. Shout out to those who be asking questions when they think they see something, thinking they could ask some questions. You can't ask no questions. Just move on. And I was also surprised that Donovan Mitchell was dating Coco Jones. I said, some ladies be listening to Sierra. You see how Sierra and Russell Wilson be helping some people out? You see what they be doing? They be showing love. Some people know what to do. Some people know how to play their role properly to get to the finish line, to be on a team. See, a lot of y'all don't even know how to be teammates. Sierra say, I could help these ladies be better teammates for the right kind of guy. Now, seem like all the guys for the teammates she promoting got money. That's all I want to say. All the ladies who going to Sierra, these ladies looking for men with dollars, moolah. So I don't know, but she telling them what to do. Jump off that ceiling fan. Don't be shy. Incorporate, some extra things in the bedroom, maybe. I don't know. Cook, clean. Get that man what he asking for. I don't know, but Sierra might know. So I'm not saying pray to Sierra, but I'm saying listen to her prayer, see if she's saying anything that might be beneficial to you, because she helping some ladies out. Matter of fact, I might need to go listen to the prayer, see if she can help me out in some areas. I don't know if she's saying some other type of things. She did recently just come out with a new album. So I don't know. I'm going to go check it out for the next episode and let you know if she promoting anything positive, anything I could take for myself since she got all the good advice. Because sometimes you got to look at who doing the things you like. She alright. That's all I'm gonna say. She alright. I think she not in it for love, but she alright. I think she's convinced herself. Over time, you could figure out the love part. That's my mama saying. I don't know. Not too much on. Not too much. I don't know who she was talking about. I wasn't asking no questions, but I remember some conversation a long time ago. She said, "Hey, sometimes, you figure it out." She said that love don't mean what you think it mean. I said, what? Scorned me ever since. So I don't know, but I know somebody who not scorned. Miss Meg the Stallion. I noticed the sports edition right now, but you didn't crossed over, so I just want to show you some light love, but just give you a little pointer or two. I just want to say, hey, boo, you be moving around. You like them athletes, but you be moving around a little bit. You got you another one. I see you doing your thing. Nah, don't get me wrong. Everybody after one relationship eventually get into another relationship. I'm just saying, y'all dating so publicly. And I get it. Hey, maybe that's just your settings, your surroundings. That's who your environment is, who you're attracted to. Everybody attracted to you. So, hey, I get it, And it don't matter that Mr. Klay Thompson was somewhat friends with Tory Lanez, just a smidge. But who are really friends these days, I guess? People are more associates these days anyway. We just was in a neighborhood. We was in the same area. We don't really know each other, but we know some people who know each other kind of thing. Said a few little words, but ain't no loyalty this way. I don't know. Shout out to Klay because they look real happy over there. It look a little genuine. Meg looked like she done made some changes. Look like she chasing good, wholesome guys. Shout out to guys who are lames. I know that's what the ladies call us. The lame-os, not the hood, street, tough and rough type dudes. The dudes who got the calluses on their hands and stuff like that. I know that's what the ladies say they want. I get it. I don't know. The mechanics and again, the guys who get dirty at work and stuff like that. I get it. I'm not judging. I commend those who like what they like, I guess. Everything ain't your cup of tea. But shout out the lames who winning out here. That's all I want to say. Cause they were talking like Klay was a little lame at one point. And Klay got a little roster, but not too much. But Meg is an upgrade, bro. You be doing your thing, and you like you some fried fish and spaghetti, I see. I'm pretty sure you like you a few other things. And she bought you a watch recently that you're bragging about as well. So, hey, look, ladies, you can do some things for the guy as well. And maybe that's why he doing some things for you even more. Because you doing things, give and take. Not just take and give later, maybe if you in the mood, not as equivalent as what you received. You know what I mean? If you get the picture I'm putting down. Stop being takers, be givers a little bit more. And you don't have to always give with your body, although this is not adult time to be talking about that, but just, be responsible. That's all I'm saying. Be adults. We all adults. This is, the adult channel. It's okay to do adult things. I'm just saying, don't just only do those type of things. Men and women, okay? It's more to relationships and getting to know people than just that. But you need that too. You need a lot of that. That helps clear the mind and the mental. Everybody got mental issues. Go ask the ones who get some on the regular how they mental. I'm just saying. Just ask them. Let's just go do a poll. Let's just go see. I think it clear your mind. I think you're a little more happier. That's all I'm going to say. You ain't worried about too much. You ain't as stressed. But shout out to you, Klay. I think you almost the Russell Wilson of basketball. Keep that in mind, and you're going to treat your lady right. And he talked very highly of Meg. I liked them dressed up at her little gala they had. So keep up the good work. Now, again, I don't know if fried fish and spaghetti is the best meal in the world. I think You know, you hyping your girl up a little too much, but hype her up. You know what I mean? Whatever it take to have her jump off that ceiling fan, okay? Sometimes you got to, throw some fibs out there, not no lies. Some tattletales, okay? Some fibs, all right? Some light little stories a little bit just to boost her ego. Yeah, that food is the best in the world. Now come on over here and let's cuddle. You know what I mean? Something like that. Try that out, fellas. I think Clay be doing some of them things. He got game, maybe. Now I know who game ain't looking that good. Moving on. Them cowboys or them cowgirls. Hey, what are y'all doing over there? Now look, not too much, but a little much. I'm not the biggest fan. I lived in Dallas a lot of years. And what I've learned most recently is even though I've been gone almost 6, 7 years, it's still not Cowboy Mondays going on currently. Because why would you trade Micah Parsons? Why wouldn't you just get a man his money and he performing? He dominating. He looking like the best in the league, at least one of top 5, at least. Why he couldn't just get paid? Everybody getting paid. You can't be cheap all your life. Can't want the maximum work without spending a few dollars. That's all I'm saying. And it only seemed like you do this to the black players, Mr. Jerry Jones. Now, I heard you got a Netflix special that's out. Again, we still haven't renewed Netflix, but not too much. But we heard you got a special. Got about 6 to 8 episodes, I think. I'm just saying, bro, you worried about the wrong thing. You can't be GM and owner no more. You're not making smart decisions. And it's jeopardizing your team. Now, if it work out, it work out. But usually, it don't work out. Now, Green Bay, Micah, okay. Mr. Reggie White, okay. I see you. I see what you're going to do over there. That money, 120 guaranteed. Yeah, I see that. Big check. You know what I mean? I see what you're doing. Highest paid non-quarterback of all time. Okay, breaking records. That's what I like to hear. 25, 26, young brother, doing things. You got to go where the love is at. Sorry. Got to go where you're going to be appreciated. Can't be afraid to start over. Can't be afraid to go back. Can't be afraid to just go where you know you going to feel good. And they wanted him. They was willing to give him what he wanted. They wasn't even making it close to others. They wasn't playing games. They was ready. I like that. Got to go where they ready at. They ain't got to be ready for everything. They ain't got to be ready forever. See, some of y'all want that forever. Sometimes, can you be ready right now? Can you just be ready and on time for what I need you to be ready and on time for? Maybe I don't need to set too many standards on you, but long as I can set a few and you can meet that, maybe we can establish some things. I like what he gonna do over there, and guess what? Hey, Green Bay ain't too bad. Hey, look, I don't know. Some people like Green Bay. I recently was there. Now, they say it's the city of cheese. Shout out my homegirl Nash. I remember her posting a while back that she said her favorite food was cheese. Thought that was very interesting. Now, she didn't say what kind of cheese. It could have been Swiss. It could have been cheddar, mozzarella, Parmesan, Gouda. Got so many different cheeses. You know what I mean? And they all taste kind of good. However, they all don't make your body feel good. Sometimes that cheese, that dairy, make you go to the bathroom. Sometimes you learn as you get older, you're a little more lactose intolerant. I don't know. But I hope it works out for Micah. I hope he figures it out. He a family man. I think that's a good place to be a family man, especially if you got that type of money. That type of money, I could be a family man anywhere. That's all I'm saying. Send me to Alaska to be on their team for that type of money, okay? So he seemed happy. He doing his thing. He ain't laying on the sidelines right now while the game on. He out there on the field practicing. So I don't know. All that stuff be strategic to get some motion. And he got some motion. So I hope he got what he wants. Sometimes the grass ain't always greener. But sometimes it's not that bad either. Now, Mr. Deion Sanders. Hey, bro, I just want to say I hope you're doing well Hope all going good. Stay positive. You got a lot going on, bro. I'm glad you got you something nice on your own, though. Keep you company, but you got a lot going on. I don't know what it is, Mr. Dion. Stay with him a little, you know what I mean? Staying with some ladies, usually they closer to his age. So shout out to you. You know, don't diddy him out there, but shout out to you, bro. Even though she kind of be looking just like, you know, I mean, they look like sisters or cousins or something, but I'm just saying, I think you got to like who like you. I'm sorry, especially if we're not spending no money and leading with that. Like who like you. Don't worry about all that other stuff, especially if we of legal age, okay? And even though she don't look like it, that means she look good. She about to be 40 just like I'm 40. So she right there. She can do what she want. Let them be a little bit. And let them respect their business the way they want to, as they not doing no talking about it. Although the ex, Tracy Edmonds, her friend Claudia Jordan doing a lot more talking than anybody who actually involved direct. I don't understand that. Again, mind your business. She said her friend told her she could talk about it. Look, man. Like I said, y'all weirdos. I ain't gonna hold you. Y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much in other people's business. That's all I want to say. And what that let me know a little bit more than not, you don't have no business of your own. See, when you're so consumed with what somebody else got going on, what they family got going on, what their relationship going on, what they kids got going on, it just let me know you're not giving yourself enough attention. You're not trying to accomplish whatever goals you got set for yourself. Because it take work to get to that. Can't keep skipping the chapters all because you just want the end result. It's a lot of difficult work that a lot of people don't get to see. All they see is the glitz and glamour and the togetherness or the good job or the final product. But just know it's a lot of late night hours with them kids, a lot of rough conversations in relationships if all you seeing the good stuff. Just know ain't always sweet. There's pros and cons in any and everything, but I just wish people stop hating. I wish people start minding their business a little bit more. Just like in some more football news, I really wish Cam Newton, Gilly the Kid, and Ryan Clark stopped talking about Jalen Hurts. Really almost stopped talking altogether. I'm not going to hold you. It's kind of cool, but I would appreciate if it stopped a little bit because it's a lot more hate. It's a lot more jealousy. It's a lot more gossipy going on, and it just don't always sound good coming from me. And I like a lot of these guys individually, but the more people start talking, the more you might start to hear their true feelings. And sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and sometimes leave this shit alone, please. Bickering with some people you don't even know over social media. Like going to your phone, your computer, your camera, and trying to talk to some strangers you don't even know in real life. Again, you got to find you some hobbies. You got to find you something else to do. You don't always need the money. Money ain't always good. The extra views, the extra followers, the extra subscribers, it's not always worth it. Don't sacrifice yourself and stoop to a level that's beneath yourself just to argue and fight with people who not thinking like you think and not trying to get where you trying to go. So I don't know what Ryan Clark was really thinking more so than the rest of them guys, but he seemed like he keep doing things like this because he got a platform. Like I said, I got a platform. Just know we keeping it respectful over here. That's all. We want respect, but we keeping it respectful too. Now, I like how they finally respecting Cam Newton at Auburn, finally retiring his jersey. I don't think he getting a statue, but if he was getting one of them, he deserved that too. That Heisman, that championship, yeah, he deserved that. I like that. Cam was that guy for that 1 year. He did his thing and went through a lot to even get to Auburn. So I like what he did. And he did very well in the NFL. So I wish people wouldn't be so hard on him. I wish, he got a little more love. But, sometimes the overconfidence / cockiness, when you really didn't win all the way, sometimes, is a little bit too much. And not everybody gonna like it. Same with Chad, same with T.O. It just kind of they demeanor, they personalities, and they don't have a championship to even back that up. Sometimes, they don't really respect that from you. They want to see a little more of the Randy Moss, who we know he was great, but he don't talk as strong, as loud as some of the others, even though he get tons of respect automatically, and he never won. So keep that in mind. But shout out to Cam. Shout out to Gilbert Arenas. We see you bouncing back from that little situation. You got arrested. Some allegations. I don't know, but shout out to you. You got a new little show, little football show since football season is here. We're finally here. It's finally time to start. Something more entertaining to watch from the sporting aspect right now. But you got a little show. You got a show with Skip Bayless. Now, you gave some teasers about this a while back, and I was surprised you did this, but I'm happy you did this a little bit. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. You got a few other people on there, not as diverse as I would have hoped for, but hey, Skip being on there, we're going to see how this goes. I am not a fan of Skip, but I do like Gilbert, so we're going to see. I'm not looking for a new show to watch, so I don't have to watch everything you do, but I'm glad you got a lot of good things going, and I hope them allegations aren't true. Now, what I am going to say something about is my Saints. That's my community. You see what we got going on. We got so much gear. I just pulled out some random stuff. That's it. But my Saints, not too much on my Saints, but we going to be trash this year, okay? Now, this is the first year that I've ever been a fan that I actually thought about making me a custom bag to put over my head. That's all I'm going to say. Now, I wouldn't dare do so. I'm just saying this is the first year where I know we going to be trash. I know we not going to make it to the playoffs. I know we looking to try to get the first pick. Now, sadly to say, the person we want to select next year at the first pick is the person who did not look good in his first college game starting this past weekend. Because Arch Manning, I know you got some ties to New Orleans with family and whatnot, but you are not your uncles, okay? You're not Peyton, and you damn sure ain't even Eli. I'm just saying you're going to be decent, a nice little backup quarterback in the NFL, but you did not look good against Ohio State, and that is NFL quality type of players and talent that you will be facing going forward, and you struggled, bro. Couple nice little here and there's, but you struggled, bro. It wasn't really the teammates. It was a little bit more you, and I'm just saying for my team, can we look at another direction? That's all I'm saying. Can we see what else we could do? That ain't it. Right now, we go get Shador for the cheaper than we could have got if we would have drafted him in the first round. So let's go and let's just go pick up Shador and see what he could do against Rattler. Cause I ain't from Florida. I didn't go to FAMU. Okay, shout out to the Rattlers, but we ain't rocking with Spencer Rattler like that. Okay. Now, I know he just there to buy y'all some time. I know everybody on the team hoping that we are the worst team in the NFL, so we get the first pick in the draft and pick somebody. But I'm not going to be wearing this outside my house. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to be playing them dominoes at home. That's it. Them ain't taking nowhere type dominoes this season, okay? I'm going to break them out maybe next season if we do better. And I'm so happy football is back, mainly just because it also brings back fantasy football. Now, I'm in 4 leagues, although I had to convince and kind of beg Jamie to create his league back. I love playing fantasy football because it helps me enjoy and look at the football games differently. It gives me another way to watch the games, to be more intrigued outside of just the teams I like. So I really am happy fantasy football is back, and I'm happy football is back on Sundays and Thursdays. Now, you got your college on Saturdays. And I've watched this past week. That's just because nothing else was on, but that's not really my sport of choice, even though I'm going to keep up a little bit. But I'm just glad we starting to get back in the rhythm. We're going to start getting back into some of the fall shows, and we getting back into the sports. Basketball season is going to be here in about a month and a half. So we starting the motion, all right? We starting to be back inside. Make sure you got the channels at home. Now, a lot of y'all still outside. Hey, keep it up if you want to. Me, I renewed my membership with the plug. Shout out the plug. We going strong, bro. I like what we doing this way. Not too much on me. We not even promoting. So don't even reach out. I'm just saying we good. We get it all. We like it. Thank you. Something else we got going on real good. Our pool. Again, shout out to Noah. He been allowing his schedule to be a little more available, and we've been making some time to get at the pool hall. He was beating me a couple times. We was breaking even a couple times, but lately, most recently, I swept his ass. That's all I want to say. Not too much on him because he listens to the pod, but yeah, we're going to get back out there though, bro, for your birthday. We're going to, whatever day we choose, I'm going to be ready. I'm mentally sharp right now. Sometimes he catch me when I'm off. He catch me when that tequila be kicking my ass a little bit, and I still think I could do it, and he be catching me. But when I'm sober, yeah, I'm a little more different type of competition. So bring your A game, bro, for your birthday. Don't lose on your birthday, bro, because I'm bringing the L's to you. But I was happy we was able to get out. I appreciate all that camaraderie. That's my guy. You got to stick with those who stick with you. Shout out Miss Barbara. She hit me up recently. I haven't been bowling. She said, hey, I know you ain't been bowling, but there's new league coming up that I'm going to be on. Want to see if you don't mind coming back, be on the team with you. I said, hell yeah. Let me see if I can make it work. But if I can, I'm there. I would love to join you. And so I've been testing it out, trying to see if I can add it to the schedule. So far, so good. I appreciate getting back. And it's like riding a bicycle. We still throwing 200s, but we still got a few struggle moments. So we definitely have had to practice already just to tighten up a few loose ends, get back sharp. I won't be super consistent since I've been gone a minute. And a couple of people been noticing I've been gone, and they've been saying a few little things and welcoming me back, making me feel good a little bit. A few extra eyes. I done met a few new people, so I want to make sure I do my thing. A few people already liking what I'm doing. Got some new teammates. I'm showing good, looking good, feeling good, bowling good. I love that. Love that sport. Shout out Miss Carol. She said I wasn't all the way wrong about how I feel in regards to the ushers at church. I realized we go to the same church, and she been going to that church a lot longer than me. And she said she got the same issues with them people too. She said, when I get there early and I pick my seat, I won't sit where I won't sit at. I don't need you telling me you want me on the end of the row. So other people who later than me could get in a little more smoother. I don't care about that. They can say, excuse me. I don't mind. I said, thank you for reassuring me, Miss Carol. I needed that a little bit because I feel the same exact way. Thank you. Like I said earlier, how much cheese do you really like? How much cheese can you really eat these days? And is it the same as before? Can you eat it like you used to as a kid? I used to could eat a slice of cheese out the pack. I remember when eating sliced cheese individually wrapped was considered decent. I remember when American cheese was actually considered to be okay cheese. And then they say, well, when did America make cheese? I said, oh, maybe you make a point. I don't know all the rules. I'm not doing all the research, but some stuff is better for you than not. But to me, they all taste good. But I try to stay away from it a little bit more than not. You can't do too much cheese. Like I said, lactose intolerant these days. We use almond milk over here. We can't remove all dairy, but we definitely don't be doing the regular milk no more. We've been stop off that whole milk, and milk is just not the same. I don't know what then changed in them cows. I think they using artificial animals. I don't know. Too much technology that then changed up the stuff, and it's impacting how my body receiving some of it. And it's been like that for a long time. Your boy used to like cereal, but guess what? That cereal tastes the same with that good almond milk. Keep that in mind. I recently went to Green Bay with the family for a bowling tournament that my kid had. She had nationals. I thought she did a great job. Although it wasn't the results we wanted. She started off good the first day, and then she struggled the rest. For some reason, when our mama around, she don't like to listen to me as much. And so the first day when it was just me and her, we did great. That was the best day. And for some reason, the days after that, as she kind of stopped talking to me, she didn't do the best. I don't know what's all the way up with that, but them her scores, not mine. I've had to learn to keep my composure and find ways to entertain myself and not lose my mind. And it's not always easy, but I'm rewarded in the process a little bit, the experiences a little bit. Even though we all human, we all got feelings. Now I want to tell you a little bit about the trip. I actually chose to drive from Georgia all the way to Wisconsin, which was about 13 hours, okay? Now, that's a lot of driving, and I did it all by myself. Now, why would I do such a thing, you may ask? Is because I don't like other people driving my car. Now, if I was in a rental, if I was driving somebody else's car, then I would share the wealth. But in mine, I believe everybody will respect your stuff the same way. So I'd rather do my own thing, and I prepared myself. And I think I did well. I got us back and forth safely. So we was out there in Green Bay for almost 7 days. So there was a lot of time in between going and coming back. And the drive was pretty safe. It was pretty straightforward. It was pretty smooth. Although my dad did point out on the way that I had my toes turned off because we were driving through the city of Chicago, and he was wondering why we were seeing so much city and not the freeway, as it was having me avoid the tolls at one point. And so I realized we did some of that in Tennessee as well. And I told him that if I turn this off, you're going to have to pay the bill. And he said, okay. So we made a compromise. Sometimes in life, you got to compromise. As I don't be paying no unnecessary bills, I'm okay with the extra little driving. It wasn't that much out the way when I reflected on it, but it would have been a little smoother of a drive if I would have just paid the tolls. So we hit every toll we could. We did not skip a toll. So is what it is. You just got to do the research, and I didn't do that much research. I just navigated the distance. So in all, it was a great drive. I only made 2 stops going. I do not like the side seat. This is not a get out and stretch your legs. You are not driving. I need you to get comfortable in that car and don't drink too much. My family knows the rules. So it was great for me. I do what I want in the car. I play whatever music or podcast or silence I want. Although I am a nice guy, I do cater, even though my family did not thank me for my selections of tunes or podcasts that I gave them, even though they were super tuned in, minus the kid. I don't think kids these days, this generation, ever take them headphones off at all. Every time she fall asleep, she got headphones in her ear still. Over the ear, in the ear, she got headphones in. So it's just super interesting how these kids are these days. But the rest of the family, I think they enjoyed the trip. My mom was singing a lot, and my dad was doing a lot of tapping his leg along the way. So I think I did a good job. And they all caught good naps as I reflect. Slept well. So nobody gave me a hard time about my driving, as I drive a little fast. Everybody was cool. Everybody was respectful of my car. I really had a good time, and getting into Green Bay after that type of drive, one thing I realized, the food is not up to my standards, as it's not for a guy who loves seafood. I love seafood. I'm still a pescatarian who's trying to be a little more vegetarian these days. Some bacon sometimes, but not too much. But Green Bay ain't where you going to get a good piece of fish or a good crab cake or something like that. That's just not the seafood spot. So I had to learn that quickly. I had to make a lot of quick adjustments. And I did, but one thing I realized, sometimes you got to go to places, places you're familiar with who are going to be consistent. And I found me a Texas Roadhouse. Shout out Texas Roadhouse. I asked y'all a while back, you like them biscuits from Red Lobster, or you like that bread from Texas Roadhouse? Now me, I think they 1A, 1B. And I really like that bread from Roadhouse when I was over there during that time. Definitely hit the spot. Definitely kept me full, as they had some good salmon. They had some good shrimp. Nothing too fancy, but super consistent. And the price was very reasonable. So that's what I like. Fair and reasonable. Quality within reason. Sometimes you pay for what you get, but sometimes you're paying too much. I'm not the one to continuously pay too much. You might give me one time, you're not going to give me twice. That's just not how this is going to work this way. But definitely shout out to my parents who came to support their grandchild, who kept us some company on a road trip. They didn't necessarily have to do that, even though I didn't necessarily ask for them to do that. I definitely appreciated the camaraderie. I'm definitely happy that they supported the kid. See, sometimes I like to let people know that it's not always about me. I don't care how I may feel. I'm happy my kid felt supported. And that's all that mattered a little bit, even though I wish I mattered a little bit more. But the trip was great. The hotel I picked was great. I found a nice hotel connected to a casino. So my dad was able to go do his thing, explore, get out. I know he liked to do these kind of things. I had to remind him that I did that for him. Sometimes you don't want to tell people that you're doing stuff for them. You hope that they see and appreciate and tell you things, but no worries. I have no problem reminding people of the good that I do, if reminding need to be done. So hotel was great. We made the food work. They had a gym that was nice. They had a sauna in the gym, indoor pool, really great place. Like I said, I would go back. I just might have to bring my own food. I don't know. But overall, it was pretty decent. I did note, though, that it wasn't a lot of black and brown. Not too much, but some of the black and brown like interracial dating. And hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. I know you got to find love in all shapes and sizes and all skin colors. Do you? But I'm just saying, I was looking for some black and brown clubs, bars, couldn't find none. I was there for a little while. I looked on a bunch of days during the week and on the weekend. Didn't find much. I drove around, didn't find much. I'm just saying, I don't know. And I was in the city. Just saying. You're not going there for that, is all I'm saying. Found a couple breakfast spots. One thing I learned, you might can't find that good dinner, but you can always find somewhere that sells some good breakfast. Can't go wrong with pancakes or waffles or bacon, sausage, hash browns. These are dishes that are, one, fair and reasonable. Gonna always be cheap. If it's too pricey, you at the wrong place. I even found one place one time that served fried fish. I said, let me get a piece of fish on the side, please. Thank you very much. So that was brunch. I basically ate that. And that was my only meal for the day for the most part. See, again, breakfast never fails. And you got to start your day off right. Even if it's not at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning, you definitely need to make sure you start off with a good breakfast. Now, hey, lastly about the road trip, I just want to say shout out to Waze. That is my navigation of choice. I don't use Google Maps. I don't use MapQuest. I'm not using paper maps. I'm not using my memory. I'm using Waze. I love Waze. It showed me where the cops at, and it's pretty consistent. Not perfect, but pretty consistent. So I use it all the time. It did not fail me at all. And the older I get, the more I need the extra help. I want the extra help. I need somebody to tap me on my shoulder and say, hey, cop coming. I need that. I might be going a little too fast. I need that extra tap, let me know. Wade's going to tap. Again, getting older, you're going to lose some things. Your body and mind is not what it used to be. You got to make some adjustments. You got to figure it out. Shoot, what you really learn is that we're not going to be here too much longer. Some of us are on the opposite side of being here. Some of us, unfortunately, have been on Earth more time than we're going to be here left on this Earth. So, you really got to come to grips with some things, and it's not easy. Luckily, these are things that everybody in the world go through. It's not like it's something that no one else goes through. So you have to start to figure it out. Work on it. Everybody get older. Everybody lose people. What are you going to do? How are you going to make it be better for you? How are you going to deal with it differently? How are you going to come to different grips? It's not going to be easy. Everything ain't meant to be easy now. But don't mean you can't do it. See, that's how I feel. Sometimes it's just okay to ask for help. I ask for help. Waze, can you help me get to my destination? Please. Thank you. Let me know the shortest destination that don't cost no money. No tolls. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, you giving me options? Sure. Let me see which one I want to take. See, me, I learned a lot while I was on my trip. One, I learned that, hey, I need to not be eating fast food no more. This is not them days like when I was young. I remember eating McDonald's fresh out of college every day, going to work on lunch because it was cheaper. The 99-cent menu when it was really 99 cents. When the double cheeseburger was really 99 cents, I remember those good old days. See, you can't do that no more. Although I will only eat the breakfast meat, breakfast is not the healthiest either, especially when you're not making it at home. See, this long trip definitely showed me a few things. It let me know, hey, one, the older you get, the more you can't just be having periods where you eating badly. Now, I did work out, but I didn't start working out till halfway during the trip. I didn't know they had the nice gym at first. I wasn't focused on that. It wasn't until the kids stopped focusing on me that then I started focusing on me. I was focused on the kid. I wasn't there to work out at first. Even though I bought some gear, I was prepared. See, I'm always prepared, just in case. One thing I learned when I got back from that trip was, wow, I need to keep a healthy lifestyle. I know I've done so recently, more consistently, but we all have our moments, and the older we get, the more we can't have moments that we always have to do these things. I also had to know, hey, I think I need to stop drinking. And guess what? I stopped drinking. As soon as I got back from that trip, that was in July, the end of July, I stopped drinking. We've not had a drink in over a month. Round of applause for your boy. Again, we do this all the time. So, we just find ways to motivate ourselves. But that liquor, something about that liquor, it's just not the same like it used to be. And you got to have good balance. And I want to make sure I stay having good balance. And I want to make sure that I'm always taking good breaks. In my mind, every year, I'm going to take breaks like this. This break is going to last me all the way through the end of the year. So if you know me, if you think you might bounce around and see me one day this year, just know I'm not drinking. That's it. It's okay. Catch me next year, maybe. But one thing I am drinking these days, a lot of apple cider vinegar. See, what I've learned through some of my research is that it cuts my sugar appetite a lot. I like to give me a good cup of apple cider vinegar with water every day almost, just to try to flush me out, just to try to make sure everything going pretty good. So far, so good. I've been doing this for a little while. But after my trip, I had to get back on track. I had to go back to what's always worked. Had to get back on that treadmill. Had to get back on that incline. Had to get back to working out consistently. But also as you get older, you learn you can't do everything and go to the gym. You can't be super responsible. However, you can do some responsible things that also has some physical elements to it. For myself, I've learned that doing a lot of yard work really helps with the physical aspect of your life. I do a lot of sweating when I do my yard work. I wear my weight vest, I wear sweat vests underneath hoodies. I don't care what time of the year it is. I want to sweat. I want to burn calories while I'm cutting grass, while I'm doing all my yard work. Also, detailing my car. See, when I know I'm going to go and give it a good clean, I usually make sure I work up a nice sweat. Another way to burn, but you're not going to get too much. But again, it's better than not getting anything. Be okay with a little light sweat the older you get. A little light exert of energy. Something you can do. Something else you can do, you can cook at home. I say this all the time, but you really can cook more at home. You really don't have to eat out all the time. I know you really don't enjoy eating all the things you eating when you're out. I just know it's based around convenience. I didn't want to do it myself. I wasn't prepared. So I needed to get something quickly. Convenience. Or I don't know how to do all these things. Well, why aren't you trying? Why aren't you learning? Sometimes you got to ask yourself, would you tell your children to do it that way too? Is this the habit you would promote to others? Now, I get it. You're doing it for yourself. It worked for you, but would you promote it? Would others like it too? Is it a little more selfish? I don't know. But lately, I've been cooking my oysters at home. I told y'all Whole Foods on Friday got dollar oysters. I ain't going to keep telling y'all all the gems. Somebody shared it with me. I'm going to share it with y'all. But that's about it. This is the last time. I do my oysters at home, sometimes on the grill, sometimes in the oven. I found a nice little oven trick to help loosen the oysters to make it easier to pop them open. Just sit them in the oven for a couple of minutes. Again, not going to keep giving y'all gems. YouTube is where I get all my research from. Okay. I also call June on my oyster tips. Shout out to June. But definitely cook more at home. And it's a lifestyle change. Invite more people over at home. Have more potlucks. Have more gatherings where people bring dishes and y'all share meals. And it's not all the pressure on just one person, but you come more together because it's cheaper and safer to do it at home. Now, I'm looking to create a new diet plan. I've alluded a little bit in this episode that I'm kind of trying to incorporate more vegetarian. I'm going some days without eating any meat or seafood. It's not easy, but I'm trying to go a couple days here and there without doing any. So far, so good. I'm not trying to, cater to no animal products or anything like that. But sometimes you just need to give things a break. I also saw this new watermelon challenge. A lot of people promoting eating watermelon every day, as long as you can, but only watermelon. It regenerates you, refreshes your skin, does some things. I love me some watermelon. Now I'm trying to calculate in my mind how many watermelons I got to buy. Because people saying it seemed like each watermelon lasting you about a day and a half. So I don't know. But I'm thinking about trying that. I had to wait till some people left my house who like to eat out a lot, who like to encourage some bad behaviors from time to time. Not as much. They've been doing better, but from time to time, that was distracting me. But now that they're gone, now I'll be able to potentially try this challenge. So I'm going to try to do the watermelon challenge coming soon. I believe I want to try to do 3 days, 3 to 5 days of just watermelon. So I love watermelon. I got to calculate to see how many watermelons it's going to have to cost me. But I'm thinking about that challenge. That's a winnable challenge for me, I believe. I believe I could really do that. And if I can have unlimited watermelon, then I'll just do some of that. And I've been eating it a lot lately, but not only that. So slowly but surely, but I think I'm going to try that challenge, because I don't mind challenging myself. I don't mind putting myself in positions to try to get better, to try to get results that I couldn't get doing things the same old way. I want better for myself. Now, I'm not going to do everything that I see. Everything is not meant for me. See, that's your first mistake being a follower some of the time. All your research ain't going to always be applicable to you. You need to be able to know how to pick and choose different aspects from what you're learning from, whether it's talking to people, whether it's reading up on things. Take pieces and combine to make your own thing. Build it off of your own experience, your own research, your own trial and error type experiments. Pay attention, see what's working, and keep duplicating those type of things to keep trying to get those type of results. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So figure out what's working. But them bad habits, justifying those bad habits, saying somebody like it when they really don't, because you don't really like it. It start with you first. You got to like it first. When I came back from my trip, I wasn't liking some things. I was a little disappointed in myself. But I also was understanding based on the circumstance. Can't do all that traveling thing. You can eat salad every day on the road, no kitchen. That's just not sustainable. You got to have some flexibility, but also know that if you got too much flexibility, you're going to pay for it at some point. A lot of people paying for the type of decisions that they're making early on. It's not going to always pay off the way they think they is. Be mindful, be proactive, be smart, be healthy. Again, time ain't waiting on nobody. We getting older. Stop watching those who younger than us make all these changes and do all these nice things. Stop thinking it's too late. It's never too late. It's never too late. You can do it too.
I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right?